So I'm very excited about today's story, today's example of positive human excellence, because by itself, it is a fascinating story. What is not to love about the deciphering of 2,000-year-old scrolls? That, boys and girls, is time traveling, and that is super cool. But also, this story brings to light the reality that very young people can make and have made significant contributions to the human cause. Because who was involved with this deciphering of ancient scrolls? Luke Farritor, who is, of course, now a key member of DOGE. And we are very lucky to have him. Mainstream media legacy media is disparaging his age, but alas, they probably don't know any history, and neither does much of the American public. So 3 easy examples of men who at a very young age contributed significantly to society. We have Werner Heisenberg of the Heisenberg uncertainty principle, who at age 23 to 24 in 1925 gave us the basis of matrix mechanics, which of course is the basis of quantum mechanics. Then we have Niels Bohr, who in 1925 at age 27 to 28 gave us the model of the hydrogen atom. No small thing there. And then last but not least, we have Albert Einstein, who in 1905 at age 26 gave us special relativity and his papers on the photoelectric effect, for which he won a Nobel Prize. So there is something to be said for young, unfettered genius. Even if you are the same smart person, as most people get older, they have obligations, which then bring with them fears. They have families. They censor themselves. If you're going to take down the federal government and all these dark forces that have been essentially, money laundering, stealing money from the American public, you cannot have a self-censoring mechanism or have fear of your actions. You have to go in there full throttle. And I think that it is fantastic that we have these young men doing this. I think they're actually perfect for the job. And if this young man could decipher ancient scrolls, I cannot wait to see what they're going to decipher with the federal government. Because as we've learned, there's no duplication. There's no way to identify duplication with Social Security numbers, which are dispelled en masse to, send out benefits. This is just the tip of the iceberg. So I personally cannot wait to see what the DOGE team and this young man dig up. But back to this topic of the ancient scrolls, which is also awesome in its own right. So this Roman town, Herculaneum, I'm going to mispronounce it, was buried in 79 AD by the eruption of Mount Vesuvius. These scrolls were found in a villa in the 1750s, but they are carbonized. They will crumble if you open them. Well, using AI technology and X-rays, they have been deciphered. And again, Luke Farritor was a key part of this team. He won an award for it. I think he created some of the 3D models for it. So how amazing is this? It's being read for the first time in 2,000 years. That is time travel. I know as a kid, I was fascinated by Ptolemaic Egypt and Cleopatra. And there was, of course, the Library of Alexandria. And even in that time, in the last century BC, the texts they were considered ancient. So who knows what is lost in the ancient world? And I think that it is super, super cool that we can start deciphering these texts and that we have free speech and a transparent platform through which we can then send out these findings and this knowledge. I'm very excited to see what's ahead, and I'm very excited to see what this amazing team at DOGE is going to find in the dysfunction of our government. This is just the tip of the iceberg. What they've started with is just the tip of the iceberg.